Welcome to a new part of the ISM Statistics 1 exercise set, this time with an exercise on classified data. Let's take a look at the exercise. The daily output of a number of factory workers has been collected and summarized in the table below. Add the relative and cumulated related frequencies to the table. Calculate the median output per worker, and C. Calculate the average output per worker. Let's work our way through the three parts of this exercise. In the first part, we consider the table as is with the absolute frequencies and sum all of them up, so calculate the overall number of observations. Then we can just divide all of our absolute frequencies by the number of observations, and we get the relative frequencies. However, we not only have to calculate the relative frequencies, but as well the relative cumulated frequencies. As I said before, relative frequencies is relatively easy to calculate. It's just dividing the absolute frequencies by the overall number of observations. The relative cumulated frequencies, however, are a bit more worked. What we have to do here is we always consider the relative cumulated frequencies of the class before, and to this add the relative frequencies of this current class. So in the first part we have no previous class, so we have 0, and to the 0 we add the relative frequency of 0.0178, getting a total of the same value. To this 0.0178 we add the relative frequency of the second class, so we add plus 0.2012, get a total of 0.219. To this we add for the third class its relative frequency, giving us a total relative cumulative frequency of 0.6687. Well, we do the same thing for the fourth and the fifth class as well. And here we can control whether we worked correctly in the steps before this. Why? Because in the end, with the relative cumulated frequencies, we always need to get to 1, because we always will get to 100%. Well, so far we already finished the first part of our job, and we can go to the second part. For this we keep the frequency table we just calculated or filled in, and for the median we have to select the class where the relative cumulated frequency for the first time becomes larger than 50%. Here we can see the formula we need to apply to this class, and well, obviously the class 3, 200 to 250, with a relative cumulated frequency of 0.6687 is the first class where the relative cumulated frequency is larger than 50%. So what we are going to do, we consider this class, and from this class take the lower bound. This is the ui minus 1. To this ui minus 1 we add 0.5 minus, and then there's ci minus 1. This is the relative cumulated frequency of the preceding class. So relative cumulated frequency of the class 150 to 200. And this difference is then divided by Ri. Ri is the relative frequency of the median class. So here it's 0.4497. And finally, we have to multiply this expression with the width of the class. The width of the class can be calculated by subtracting from the upper bound the lower bound of the class. So here we calculate 250 minus 200. This is again what I just said in a summarized form. And if we input this into calculator, we get as a result 231.24. So we see it's somewhere in our median class, and we got this by first having the look where the relative cumulative frequency became larger than 50%. Well, this already concludes the second part of our exercise. And we can directly go to the third part. Again, here we start with our frequency table, and our objective now is to calculate the mean. Calculating the mean, if we consider this formula, is relatively straightforward. We have to get the relative frequencies. Well, obviously we already calculated them in part A, and we have to multiply them with the average of the classes, so the middle value in each class. That's the MI. How do we get the MIs? Well, we sum up lower and upper bound of the class and divide this by 2. So meaning if we do this for the first class, we have 0 plus 150 divided by 2 is 75 times the relative frequency of the class. Then we do the same for the class 150 to 200. Here we add them up, get 350 divided by 2 is 175. And we do the same thing for the other 3 classes as well, resulting in, well, what's just given down here below. All of this then is summarized, and we get as a value 239.9625, giving us the result for the third and the final part of this exercise. And well, I hoped you enjoyed all of what I've been telling you in the course of this exercise and you took something away from you. Until next time, see you and goodbye.